Hey everyone, it's your host Joy, and welcome to another Equipping You podcast. This is episode 49. Thank you all for watching and subscribing to our channel. So today I am excited because guess who's here? The Sister Talks ladies are here, and I always enjoy when the Sister Talks ladies come on. Do you want to know more? All right, grab your journal or a sheet of paper, and I'll be right back.
Thank you for tuning in today. Our mission is to equip and empower you to dig in and soar higher, doing the things that you love. This podcast is where you'll hear leading experts from around the globe figuring out what you could be doing to tackle your greatest business challenges. So get ready to hear from some of the brightest minds and boldest thinkers on how they're taking on these problems and how you could too. Now here's your host.
Welcome back. So most of you know me, but for those of you who do not know me, my name is Joy Norman, and I'm an empowerment and success coach, and I'm also the CEO of the international organization and movement Becoming Fierce Female Entrepreneurs, and I am blessed to help success-driven women entrepreneurs get past fear, procrastination, move forward, take action, and build a profitable and sustainable business without wasting time on strategies that just don't work. Even if you've been struggling to grow your business for years and you haven't seen much fruit. And I'm also the host of this podcast, which is a podcast all about uplifting, informing, and empowering women entrepreneurs to grow a sustainable and profitable business, because working your business can be tough and overwhelming. And it's easy to get lost in the busy life. And we just want to inspire you and support your growth. Okay, I think the Sister Talks ladies are here. I hope you enjoy my conversation with the Sister Talks ladies. Well, hello, ladies. How is everyone doing?
Wonderful. Great. Thanks.
I'm so excited you are here.
We're excited.
Hey, me too. I love this time together.
Thank you for joining us for Sister Talks. I just love our sisterhood community.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. And so it's just nice to be a cheerleader in someone else's life. And we all just need to connect with other women. Do you agree?
Yes. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, because chances are you're not the only one going through a difficult situation, or maybe you want to celebrate what you're going through. It doesn't always have to be a hard time, but we know that sometimes the greatest strength comes in recognizing that we just can't do things alone.
So true.
Yes, yes. So thank you for inspiring, empowering, and supporting others to soar just a little higher. All right, let's start with introductions. So give us your name, where you are joining us from, and what you do.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mitta Wise. I'm originally from New Zealand, but I live in Los Angeles. And I'm an empowerment coach and practitioner, and I support women in transition. So if you're wanting change, or you're in change, or in transition, life transition or career transition, I'm here to support you.
Welcome.
I like that.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Andrea Imafidon. Coming from Anderson, Alabama, by way of Boston. So I lived a lot of places. So I'm a blogger. I'm a coach, but I haven't coached in a while. But my main focus is now being a college professor to my kiddos, my young adults, which I truly love. Teaching them how to be professionals, have a code of ethic, a personal code of ethic as well. Learning how to communicate. in my spare time, vlog, and also too, I do presentations because tenure track and all that jazz. So I'm just excited to be here and excited to, mingle with you ladies once again.
Welcome.
Welcome. Well, I'm Connie, and I have been living in Texas now since April. And so I'm here and I'm loving it. My main heartbeat, the main thing is I'm an outreach chaplain, and I work with people out in the community that have needs, and I help train up other people to do that also. So that's really my heart cry. I do some things to make some money. I teach CPR and things like that. But my Love and Action Ministry, we have an outreach chaplain academy, and that's my real heartbeat: reaching people with the love of Jesus.
Awesome. Love what you ladies do. Welcome. So would you ladies like to start with an activity?
Oh, yes, sure. What are we going to do?
Okay, so I'm calling this creating connections through our personal preferences.
Interesting.
And I think that this is an awesome activity. It ties in to today's topic. So I'm going to show you two related options, and you must choose one. And don't think too long. Just tell us what comes to mind, and let's just have some fun. Okay. Do you prefer morning or evening?
Morning, for sure.
Evening.
Morning.
I'm just a morning person.
Oh, okay. Okay. Fast food or home cooking?
Ooh, home cooking.
Home cooked meals because you put love into it.
Yeah, home cooking, and usually maybe a little healthier.
Okay. Coffee or cocktails?
Either one. I don't like either. I don't know. Coffee's close to hot chocolate, so there.
Coffee. I love coffee.
Coffee for me. I don't drink alcohol, so coffee's one of them.
Night in or night out?
Night in. I'm a homebody.
I'm gonna say night out, depends on the situation and what's going on.
That's true too.
Yeah, night in, but I'll go out sometimes.
TV or movies?
A movie occasionally. I'm not a big fan of either of that, but give me an old musical or something like that, or romance.
Oh, definitely movies, especially documentaries. I'm a big documentary person.
I like both, but if I really had to choose, I'd say online movies. I mean, TV, movies that I can watch on like Netflix or something like
Yes, yes.
Okay. Pastels or bright colors?
Bright, as I wear a pastel.
Definitely bright colors.
Yep, me and bright colors too.
Text or phone call?
Interesting, because I don't know if God's been talking to me or I've been realizing I need to do more phone calling and less texting. Texting is easy. I know they can get it when they want. It's simple, and then I can refer to it later, but it's more personal to call. And so I'm working on doing more calling.
This is a hard one. I definitely text, but I do prefer to talk on the phone, like long conversations to catch up with folks. So I definitely have to work on phone calls and calling people more.
Yeah, I like text, I gotta say, but because it is easy. But I will call if I need to or if it's appropriate.
Sweet or savory?
Sweet, baby, sweet.
Sweet, definitely.
Sweet.
Ah, a bunch of sweethearts.
Planning or improvising?
Planning. I can improvise. I can be impulsive, but I like to plan. I'm a planner.
I too am a planner as well. I can improvise, but I prefer to have a plan.
Yep.
I'm an improviser. I like to improvise, but there are some things I do have to plan. But I do like to improvise.
All right, last one.
Oh,
Messy or
clean.
clean?
Clean, everything in its place and in order. I like it.
Clean. I'm a big component of organization and knowing what stuff is at and pick it up and go about my day.
I really love clean, but there are times when I will revert when I'm on a trip or something, being on a trip or something, is happening. But I love clean. It makes you feel so good and, just organized and all of the above.
Yeah, so you can do this with your spouse, your significant other, your family, your friends. You will discover similarities between yourselves. And so I love this. So this may help you better understand a diva that likes a night out, and she's able to get up early and she can drink her coffee and watch HGTV, eat a home-cooked meal, have a sweet dessert while planning, cleaning, and decorating her office in bright colors.
Woo! Yeah, are you talking about me? Was that you?
I thought you might like that.
That's lovely.
So in this world of rapid changes, it is important to recognize what people might be going through. And when we can share positive experiences that bring us closer as human beings, we form a deeper and a more meaningful relationship. And I was reading an article the other day, and it mentioned that with the rise of digital interaction, we've also seen an increase in loneliness. And we no longer meet for drinks after work or gather with our friends for games or movie nights. And meetings and social gatherings are mostly done virtually. And it's easy to book a virtual meeting than it is to meet in person for coffee. And I was guilty of this also. I've met so many women online. They live in different cities. They live in different states. They live out of the country. And so we all just love getting online and meeting for virtual coffee chats. However, I realized that I still needed to make it a point to get out and physically attend family functions and local events so that I can still have that in-person connection. But either way, I just enjoy connecting with people and online. And I do, after the pandemic, I miss having my SOAR conferences in person. Because I'm like, I want to hug your neck, you know. Yep, I want to be in person with people. So, because like I said, it's about nurturing the relationship and connecting. And so I love our topic today, creating connection and meaningful and lasting impact. And I'm happy to have you ladies join me today to discuss the foundation for building deep and meaningful relationships. Because I'm a true believer that when we build relationships with a shared sense of humanity, it fosters mutual trust, care, and respect. And it's just something I have to practice. And I love some of the things you ladies shared for your personal preferences, like you were saying about texting versus calling. So ladies, for our plug-in discussion. you think we're socially distant from one another after the pandemic? And if so, what are some relationship building practices that can bring people closer together during these times? And then how are you making a deeper impact in your community?
Hi, everybody. So I just think when it comes to connecting more, especially to connecting more offline, I just think that we need to make a little effort. You know, there's a little effort involved in it, right? And it doesn't have to be this huge effort. It can just be a little effort. For example, I have a friend who reached out to me for a little while, and I was busy with work. She'd contact me and I'd be like, I'm sorry, because I was busy. And then at some point I thought, here's this beautiful soul reaching out to me for friendship. I have to make some time, you know, and it's just a sort of a simple thing that we forget sometimes, that we can make a little time. We think I don't have time, but we really can. If we just focus in on it, find when we can make a little time. And so I reached back, finally I reached back to her and I said, oh, let's meet such and such. And so we met, and now we're great friends. And I just feel like, especially, not only do we need to make a little effort sometimes, but especially if the other person is making an effort, right? So you really want to make sure that you connect and you reach out. And even if somebody else isn't making the effort, you can be the first one to make the effort. I once was waitressing, this is many, many years ago, in my 30s, and I was doing some little waitressing for a little while. And there was a really nice woman who was another waitress, and I noticed just how nice she was. And so one day I went up to her and I said, well, how about we have some coffee together or something, get to know each other? And she was like, yeah, let's do that. We've been lifelong friends. We're still friends. So you just don't know how it's going to go, that little bit of effort that you can put in, that little bit of love, but just taking a step and being brave and just making a little effort. Oh, and the other thing was, like, what impact are you making? Well, I wrote a little something out. I volunteer at a couple of nonprofits here in India, and I contribute time and money. So I know that has a ripple effect, right? That it supports people, and that I'm loving people through that. And I do what I can to support family and friends, of course. And I'm also a visualization and empowerment practitioner. So I'm supporting community with things like free events, you know, some programs, free calls, different things like that. So I'm supporting women in change or transition. And so I make sure that I have available those things so that I'm supporting women and supporting community. So I feel like I'm making an impact on different levels and in different places and different spaces, right? So that's me.
As far as with the post-pandemic, I really feel that people are trying to make an effort, intentional effort, to connect with one another. Intentionality is big for me, and also to spending time with family and friends, because you know we all went through this pandemic together, and just seeing where everyone's heart space and head space and even emotional space is at. And so as you have mentioned, Joy, I have met a lot of amazing women online, and we have connected for 2-3 years. I actually just went on a cruise with one of my good friends I met online 2 weeks ago. We went to the Bahamas, and both our significant others looked at us like, "Are y'all are crazy? You never met." It was our first time meeting, going on this cruise, and we was roommates, and it worked out perfect. It worked out perfectly, and just making those intentional you know, connections is important. And I remember reading something that says, if God, you know, put that person in your heart space and your head space, reach out to them, because you never know what they're going through. You know, even meeting, you know, strangers, saying hello, you just never know what people are going through in their day-to-day life. So I'm very intentional when I'm, you know, even in the workspace, or just even online, or just even, you know, going to different stores, you know, speaking to people. We kind of lost our art of being friendly, being warm, because you know we all, like I said, are in this thing together, and we may have lost someone, but you never know what encouraging kind words you can, you know, provide to someone, or just even a smile. And I think we even lost smiling. I love to smile. It just makes me feel better, and also too, hopefully it's contagious for other people to smile. So essentially what I have been doing, reaching out to friends individually, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a text or even an email. Anytime I meet someone, if I'm doing a presentation, I send like a nice thank you email saying, oh, thank you so much for coming to the presentation. I've been doing that a lot. And also too, having digital business cards, because I know people still have that. Do I want to take a physical business card? And usually I'll just shoot them a text, it was nice meeting you. So, going that extra mile, being once again intentional and also being warm, that goes a long ways. And I feel like that has a lasting impression on individuals to have a lasting friendship as well.
I'm really agreeing with all of you. And I do think we got used to kind of secluding ourselves. And it does take a little bit of effort, not a lot of effort, but that's exactly the word I was thinking of, Mitta, effort. It just takes a little bit of effort and a little bit of love. And I think we all have noticed as we reach out to someone, they're like, oh, and they're so delighted and it has refreshed them. And you're right. We don't know what they're going through. I'll tell you something else I like to do. I like to write little notes to people and send them in the mail. And that's something my mama taught me way back when. And it's almost, I think, kind of a lost art. Sending just a little thinking of your note or a thank you note. We can thank them. We can do it online and all these other things. But I think, if you send them a card, sometimes they can look at that later and later. And I've heard that over and over that, thank you for this birthday card. And some people, it's like years later, every now and then I read it. So I think just reaching out a little bit doesn't take a lot. Really, how much time does it really take? And it's just is showing them some love. So I'm agreeing with all of you. Absolutely.
Yes, me too. This is so awesome. I keep my greeting cards and I put them in a nice little box and it has a scripture on it. I used to write people overseas when I was a little girl. And we used to exchange letters.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And so
Pen pal.
Pen pal, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Yes, I used to always have a pen pal. Yeah. And so I love it. I wish we would have had this back then.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Wouldn't that's been cool?
Yeah.
To get online with your pen pal. Yeah, I know that they're doing that too. Yeah, I love what everyone is saying, and I agree with you, ladies. And kudos to you, Drea. That's the kind of stuff I do. I'll go to a conference and I'll make friends. I just posted a picture a few weeks ago, and it was we were from all different backgrounds, and it was like 4 of us on the picture. All of us with different ethnic backgrounds, and now we're keeping in touch with each other. We didn't know each other.
See?
We went to the business conference, and it was so funny because we all walked in at the same time.
Wow.
And, yeah, and each lady was by themselves.
Wow.
Yes. Yep. And they were by themselves. And so we all just kind of stood at the entrance and talked. And then now some of us are following each other on Instagram. A couple of them are in our Facebook group. Yeah. And so
that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So just making that little bit of effort to connect, it just shows compassion, especially in these trying times. I say small acts of kindness can have an enormous power for both the person being kind and the recipient. And then also I want to share with you, research shows that the happiness people get from giving to others create a positive feedback loop. So the more you give, the more positive you feel. And I'm sure, as you ladies have said today, you can relate. And this in turn fuels greater happiness. However, we already know fostering relationships take time and it needs work. And sometimes you can feel like maybe you're the one doing all the work. You ever feel felt that way? But it's just important to shift so that you can just don't assume. Just reach out.
It's really important. Some people think, oh, that person doesn't want to hear from people or from me, or so, but you can't assume anything. And I think people love just getting hey, how are you? I haven't talked to you for a while. Just anything like that, particularly friends, or it could be anybody. And I like to do that a lot.
And how many times when you do that, I think you were saying that, Drea, you didn't know it, maybe the Lord put them on your heart, and so you contacted them. And I don't think there's been a single time that it was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you called me or contacted me because such and such and such. You're right.
Makes a difference. Let me just tell you, putting this Sister Talks episode together, Connie, you touched my heart, because Connie just reached out and she sent that long email. She sent this long email, and you just don't know. Okay, I'll try not to cry. But it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful because she don't realize she left us. She left us. She was in town, so I don't get to see her,
No.
So the stuff you were saying and, catching up, and, it was so cool. She took and did paragraph by paragraph. So to respond, I had to go each paragraph and go, okay, what am I going to say about this? And so I just want you to know that really touched me. That really touched me. Yeah, I was like, wow, And one of the things that I see, Mitta's always sharing somebody's post and always trying to help these women in their business. Then Drea, she does
Brown Girl Wisdom and Brown Girl Reminder, just to remind people of who they are, who they was created to be, and that everything is temporary. If you're going through a tough time, it's temporary. This too shall pass. That's my favorite mantra that I say, because it will. So everyone needs that encouragement on a day-to-day basis.
So I bet none of you knew that I knew that about all of you.
Well, I think I sort of knew you knew, but not fully, and I didn't know you were going to share it.
Oh man, you ladies just don't know how you're making a lasting impact. The way you connect, I love your presence. I called my son a few weeks ago and I told him I was doing this, and the one thing that he said about me, Mom, the way you share on your social media is, he says, you're coming from, what did he say? I said I was going to write it down. He said carefree and abundance.
Yeah, it's lovely. Carefree. I get that about you. I saw your post. I see your posts sometimes, and they're like more carefree. They're not just business, right?
And abundance also.
Absolutely.
Honestly,
that's what he came up with that. And I go, I gotta share that with the ladies. You post from carefree and abundance. And I go, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and just having the butterflies behind you just accentuates that as well.
Yes, I always love butterflies.
It's like a fresh breeze that comes in, right?
But I've always been one who liked to lift people up. That's just something that God has put in me, that I like to lift up others, which is why I love the Sister Talks community. Because all right, it's time for Note to Self. Note to Self.
Note to Self.
Okay, for our Note to Self discussion, we ask you to take some time to consider who shares your lives and stories, and then think about the relationships in your life. And we all have heart relationships, personal relationships, and functional relationships. So our heart relationships, this is your inner circle, and these are the people whom you can truly share who you are. You can share your ups and downs, and this could be family members and maybe close friends that are in this circle. And then your personal relationships, these are the people who you share your life in. They may be in your neighborhood, they may be your family members, your church members, they could be your work friends, and they could be your business clients or customers or co-workers, etc. And you all care about each other, but they're a little more casual than that first group. And then there's functional relationships, and generally these connections are very casual and interactions have a practical purpose. And you may call them acquaintances. They could be like your email list or people in your social media platforms. So what I want to ask you ladies is, as you were writing down the names in your social groups, how did you feel when you were thinking about the relationships in your life? And then how are you staying present, being grateful, and offering understanding to your social groups? And then how do you connect and nurture your heart, your personal, and your functional relationships?
So, of course, I think the overwhelming first thing that comes out is gratitude. You know, you write down all the people that you're connecting with in the different areas, and it's a really good gratitude exercise, because I mean, how can you not feel grateful for all these people that are actually in your life and that you're connecting with? And then I noticed I had another feeling that was, it wasn't guilty so much as, I think, as a little bit of that, but more because of compassion. I'm thinking about the people who don't have all those people in their lives, you know? And so I'm sort of feeling for them as I'm doing this. And, you know, the ones who are suffering and who don't have those supportive people in their life. So I wrote this little thing. It says, I would encourage you, for these people who don't have supportive people or people that you can go to in your life, I would encourage you to be brave and take a little step, one little step outwards to reach someone or some person or some people. Just take that one little brave step, because that one little brave step that you take can just really open things up in your life. And I just wanted you to know that I'm thinking of you, even when we're talking about all these connections we have, is that I'm thinking of you, the person who doesn't in this moment have all those connections. So just go deeply within and feel that connection to yourself, you know, your God or the universe, and then take a little step outward towards other people. And I just got to know that that came overwhelming to me after feeling the gratitude, was just to address the people here who may be listening to us, wishing that they had all those connections. I also wanted to mention something, just something a little practical, that besides having us to reach out to and making brave steps to other people, you can, there's something called meetup.com, and I'm sure many of you have heard of it, meetup.com. And that has a lot of people in different interest groups. So it doesn't matter what you're interested in. It's pretty much like they have that group on Meetup. So if you're interested in dogs or books or hiking or sports or business, whatever it is, and it's a way to meet people. It's generally free. A lot of the groups are free. Some of the events are free. So you can join a group, and you can, for the people who want to connect more, it's actually a nice way and a nice platform to get some offline groups where you can now go and connect. And even the ones that were online when COVID was around, many of them have gone back to also being offline now. So you can get that offline connection freely and make some more connections. So that was what came to me, is that I just wanted to reach out to all of us, and whatever space we're in.
Ooh, that's awesome.
I think when I was doing this, I began, it was good timing, because I began to realize, you know what? I really haven't been as close to this person or this person as I used to be or as I feel I should be. And that's not a guilt thing, it's a love thing. And and I looked at my list of the ones that are my heart relationships, and it really is pretty well my family. Um, yes, I just think I want to even more um, comment more and more on things when they share things. You'll say, "Oh, okay," but feedback to them because that shows more of an interest in that I really, really do love them. So I began to realize, you know what? I have kind of gotten so busy that I haven't taken the time that I used to, or that I believe in my heart that I want to, that I should with people. So it was really good timing for me actually to have these different um, subjects, that we talked about. And I do have my different categories, and I had to really think, okay, who belongs in the second category? And I really knew pretty well. And then the third category, I thought, okay, well, I'm one of those, possibly like you. I have a lot of acquaintances. I have a lot of different circles with a lot of acquaintances, but some of them are closer, and then some of them are my heart people, just like you were saying. So it was a good time for me to do this.
Yeah, the ladies in my Package Your Superpower program, we do this exercise at the beginning because a lot of them didn't realize that they need to, rely on the people in the various groups. And to have the names, it really helps them with their business. And not just for business women, for all women.
I have some exciting news to share. My book journal is now available. Are you ready to embark on a journey of fearless self-discovery and empowerment? Look no further than Fearless Reflections. This journal offers busy women leaders the space to capture your innermost thoughts, ideas, and reflections with plenty of room for your unique journey. It's your canvas to paint the picture of your empowered future. Start your journey today with Fearless Reflections. To pick up your copy, go to my website, becomingfierceentrepreneurs.com or to amazon.com. Woohoo! Thank you for your support.
It's not a negative thing to have your boundaries set in your relationships. We set boundaries in other ways, but it's a healthy thing because if you are growing a friendship, that takes some quality time, and there's only so much of you, and you still need to take care of you, but you want to nurture these friendships. So be careful, honestly, about who you really want to grow a friendship with, because it really does take time.
Yeah. And you say it, you don't think about it, like Drea just said she met someone online, and then you never know. Right now, that person was a functional relationship, but after the trip, she may have moved up a notch.
Yes.
Yeah. They may have moved up to the next category, after the trip. And so it's important, and that's the purpose of it, is for you can have healthy boundaries.
Absolutely. As far as with this quote that I'm a quotes person, so I love quotes. So I heard this quote that says, "Be quick to fire, slow to hire," and that goes with friendships, and it goes with even kinship, right? Because even with our families, we don't tell everything to them. Some of them, disrespect your boundaries, may not value you. You may have the same lineage, same grandparents, but you may not be in alignment with each other's values in life, and that's okay. You still have that commonality of being, related. But I'm very cautious of who I call a friend, because I had got my heart broken by a friend, my childhood best friend. So I'm very cautious, so I build rapport. And that's something that I would, I have been working with my therapist on, is being vulnerable. And to who should I be vulnerable with? When a season's over with, when it comes to friendship or acquaintanceships, that's okay. And I think sometimes we forget that, and we think, oh, we're being mean. If, sometimes we gotta be quick to fire someone. And also to always look at it, if I can go through a season with you, so if, we both having difficulties, if we both can travel together, we done went through these seasons, because it's important to see how people react during seasons. And also too, when someone show you who they are, like Maya Angelou said, you have to believe them. And I'm big on reciprocity. I shouldn't be doing all the work in the relationship, nor should you as well. So that's even with family, friends, acquaintances. And it's okay to have different friend groups and also acquaintance groups, people who look different. I mean, I'm friends with a lot of people who look different from me, different ages, from different regions, different countries. That's just, it helps me to learn and to grow as a person inside and out. But I know with my heart circle, I do feel supported, because I've been through difficult times and know that they're still there for me and I'm there for them. I feel loved, valued, and understood, and sometimes misunderstood, and that's okay. To have that, compassion and empathy. And it's a lot of people, we forget about the empathy piece. We forget to meet people where they are. We forget to, sometimes just say, I see you, I've been there. It may not have been the same situation, but how can I be supportive and listen? That's key for me, is someone that I can go to, they're gonna listen, and they're my safe space.
Yes.
And that's important. Going back to what Connie said about boundaries, that's going back to boundaries. I should have to hear, what I shared with you with someone else on Facebook, like, hold on, wait, I told you this in confidence. So I'm very big on that. And I think people think, oh, a friend group have to be this big tribe. It could be another person, it could be someone else. As long as you, once again, it's the reciprocity, the respect level, you value one another, you love one another, and just be there for people. And I think people are missing that. And I think that's why people are isolating themselves, because they're like, well, no one cares about me. You just need to have one person. It could be your mom. Like, my mom is definitely, she's in my heart group, in my friend group, because we do stuff together, we share stuff in confidence with one another. But we build that. Now I'm an adult, so I can we can have the friendship level now. So it doesn't have to be this big tribe of people. Maybe that's your acquaintances, but building rapport is important, because you just never know, and you shouldn't be quick to hire someone just because you may like the same thing. It takes more than that.
Yes. Go ahead, Connie.
Well, I'm just agreeing with all these things, that she's saying, and it is something that you said, Drea, that I related with. It can't be if it's a one-sided thing, or 80% one and 20 other. Is that really a friendship? It's some kind of a relationship, but it's a give and take, and it's a sharing, and it's not all about me, or all about you. It's both, and that's the way to grow it. Yeah, that's important in growing your friendship. So when you said that, I thought, yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah, and I agree with you all. It's important to nurture the relationship, and it does take time.
Mhm.
But hey, I shift you around if I need. Shifting you around, because it's like you said, your heart relationships, I don't have to worry at all. I've never had to move anyone out of it, and so I've been lucky and blessed with the inner circle, and it helps me. But I agree with both of you about because I always add value to other people's life, I do appreciate it when the effort is, is replicated.
Mhm.
Yep,
Yeah,
it should
we
be
need it.
one-sided.
We need it.
Yeah, yeah,
And there's nothing wrong with needing encouragement and love and edification. It's
yeah.
important.
Come on. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can add couple of F's in there: flexibility and forgiveness, even with our heart people, even with all the different levels, right? Is that they're not always going to live up to our expectations. Not always, because we're not perfect and we all make mistakes. So I think the thing is, flexibility and forgiveness is also important when you have relationships, right? And I remind myself at times I need to, and I just work at it a little bit when I need to. But yeah, those are important.
There is no way you can have a heart relationship if you are not flexible and forgiving. Because if everybody would have been kicked out.
Right.
Right, because we're not perfect, and we're always
I done forgave them so many times.
And listen, they can have a bad day. I always say, you don't know who kicked their cat. You don't know. Just give them some grace.
Yeah, sometimes we often don't know what other people, even our heart people, we don't always know what other people are feeling, thinking, what they're going through. So yeah.
Oh my goodness, this is just so awesome. You ladies are something else. Oh my God. Do you have any other final thoughts or comments before we wrap?
Yes. Talk about having time and nurturing your relationships. You might say, well, I really don't have any time. My life is so busy and it's so this. Okay, well, look at what you're doing. Do you really need to do all those things you're doing or spend as much time? Or maybe you have some days that are really, really busy, but you have other times. Or maybe in the evening, if you have some downtime in the evening, listen, you can get a little note written or do things. So I would kind of encourage you to say, well, I'm just so busy, I don't have time. I think you probably do have time if you just look at where's your priority. Where's your priority? Do I need to? I like to play mahjong. All right. I don't need to spend, a lot of time playing that. My time would be much better spent nurturing someone. I can do some of my fun stuff. We do have more time, I think, than we realize.
Yes, we really do. My daughter helped me with that. When she was like, Mom, okay, I just bought you an all expense paid trip to Disneyland. When I was like, oh, wait, I can't go. I got too much work. Okay. And so that's when I wasn't nurturing my heart relationships, because that was more functional, working on my job, and so I was like, ooh, okay, yeah, I'm going. Yeah. And so that's one of the benefits of the exercise, to stop and go, wait a minute, these people are here no matter what happens to me. The people in my heart relationship, she didn't took time to buy the ticket. Yeah.
I just want to say one more thing. I just wanted to re-say that for those of you who aren't feeling like you're connected or that you have any connections, I just want to repeat again, just to be inspired to take that one little step and just reach out to someone, just anyone that you feel that you maybe feel something is there that interests you about them or that's nice about them, and just make that step. You just never know where that will go to.
Yeah, it's just been so rough. I have a lot of family and friends who've lost loved ones, and a lot of people are hurting. And so I really, really appreciate, because you ladies took the time to just show up today. You are creating meaningful moments that have lasting impact. And I hope people will watch this, as many times as they need to, maybe even reach out. Maybe they, resonated with someone today. And, maybe just start off with one of the ladies here as an acquaintance, and you just never know where it may go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because you ladies are the bomb.
Right.
We've
The
been,
bomb. That's
we've
right.
been invited by the bomb.
Yes, absolutely.
I just want to say, don't forget the most important relationship of all, with God, with Jesus.
Mhm.
That's the main one right there. That's it.
Yes. Yeah.
And I would also add with yourself too.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. You are important. You are enough.
Absolutely.
But I want to thank you, ladies, so much. This was awesome. I always love it when you ladies come on the podcast. You know, I love listening to you. Dropping all these awesome nuggets on us.
Yeah, thank you, Joy, for having us. Thanks, ladies. Thanks, Drea and Connie.
Thank you.
I would
Thank you,
agree.
lady.
Thank you. I love this. I enjoy it so much.
Me too.
Yes. All right, ladies, you have a blessed rest of the week. Thank you so much for coming on. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So this concludes episode 49. Did you enjoy the Sister Talks, ladies? Thank you so much, Connie. Thank you, Drea. And thank you, Mitta. I always enjoy talking to you. Thank you for dropping so many nuggets on us. Thank you for your friendship and thank you for coming on. I hope you ladies enjoyed them. If you want to, feel free to reach out to any of these ladies. I will leave their information in the description. There is no magic number when it comes to connection. We don't have to have a million friends, or we don't need to be an extrovert. To foster more enriching relationships, it's important to know yourself, to know the barriers within yourself that limit you. And it's just important to get to know others, but it does take time to foster relationships. All right. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed rest of the week. We will see you back here on another Equipping You podcast. Bye bye.